with your son's father.
You know, it's inevitable that I was gonna be, you know,
that. Out the JR.
Listen, he made me shoot a gun one time. I'm damn near wanted to cry. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's one of my best friends, man. I know how you get down.
And my son, you know, he could tell you about every kind of gun, style of gun, the type of bullets it takes, how it shoots, the color. He could tell you everything. So, you know, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. But long story short, you know, at the end of the day, going into those studios, you just got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, you as a woman, you have to be careful because it's a lot of in and out, you know, and you know, it's, of course, this is what we love to do, but hey, you want to live.
Why is it like that though? I mean, in your opinion, why is it so like, why is the studio always some more? I mean, like, I'm going to get them like, it's so many stories of like people getting got at the studio.
Because of the structure of most studios. Like, for example, let's just use Fat Buddha, for example. Mm-hmm. The door is always open. You know what I'm saying? And again, they have a secured gate. So they're not just anyone can't just drive in and out. So let's get that straight. But, you know, you just want to know, you always hear that door opening and closing, and you're in another separate room with a closed door. Then you're in a booth with a closed door. So you don't know what's going on outside of you. You know what I'm saying? So you're in there, you know, you recording, doing your thing. And if somebody at the time just so happens knows you're there, that's the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, because you, like you said, you're trapped. Like, where are you gonna go? You in the booth,
right? Where are you gonna go? But my thing is, you come up in here.
Hold on, so you in the booth with the strap? Like,
listen,
you got it on the table
with my strap at all times.
I love you.
With my strap at all times. Don't let the honeydew fool you. Don't let
like the Spice One, ride with my strap on the side of me.
Listen, don't let the black butterfly, don't let none of that fool you. Listen, it's not a game. It's not a game. But just to jump back on where we were initially, that was the time when, like you said, when Lyfe Jennings was at the peak. And I had done, like, at the time, I was doing like the most, like, I was doing so many shows and so much stuff. And even leading up to that show in front of all those people, I had rehearsed, and the Traffic Music Awards was like the biggest show before me.
Man, rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to my brother, man. Listen, he was one of the DJs, one of the people that were just so humble. And so him, and of course, DJ Cuddy, shout out to him. Actually, Cuddy produced That Fire, the song I did with Murphy.
Yeah.
He produced
the intro for Just Posted, one of the podcasts on the network.
Okay. Intro. Another dope brother, but like literally those two held me down. And DJ Snow.
Yeah, DJ Snow is one of them stories that people don't know about, I think, the most.
They need to know because he's a legend in St. Louis, seriously. So they held me down. They kind of like, I'll never forget performing at the Traffic Music Awards. I had a whole dance routine. I had my first time performing with dancers. And I mean, Cuddy was like, I was literally in heels dancing, okay? My mom and them, my aunt, rest her soul, who I told you, her wedding reception is where I discovered my voice. They all came out to support me, and that's their first time seeing me perform. And I was so nervous, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting ready to be up here dancing and singing. But when I tell you, a girl got up there, danced, sang, belted out that long note at the end of that song, Cuddy stood up. He was like, I don't know if he was even, I think he was on the tables. I think he was either on the tables or in the front row. I can't remember, but they hyped me up so much. It was the dopest feeling in the world. And I remember getting off the stage, and the guys, D2, I was signed to them. And I remember Dave, not Darren, Dave was like, are you ready for the big show, for the bigger show? Are you ready for something like that? And I was like, all hyped up, like, yeah, I'm ready. And when they told me how many people sit in that crowd, oh my God, listen, the anxiety was real. Like the man, I said, 20,000 people, are you serious? And they was like, yeah, get it while you can get it. Let's go. But it was a great experience. I mean, it was just any artist, any singer, any singer, I don't care if you sing, rap, everybody, anyone that has gotten to experience that and a crowd that's enjoying you and clapping and applauding and singing with you, like there's
the greatest high in the world, I've heard.
Listen, I don't think there's a greater high, seriously. And I get why it can be so addictive. Because you're doing something you love to do, right? And then you get to do it in front of a crowd of 20,000 people or 100,000 people, however many people, like, and they're reciprocating, like they're into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, even in your world and doing, being a podcaster and doing that, like, imagine the day you become syndicated and you got millions of people to hundreds of thousands of people tuning into you every week or however often. Like that feeling is something that will never be replaced. Aside of the love of your kids, your family, that's a feeling you can't shake it.
So
and that's go ahead.
Go ahead, Kriss.
No, I was just gonna say, hence why I always call music like that ex that won't go away. Because I break up with music a lot. But then I'm like, all right, come on.
Let's do it
Come
again.
on back home. Come on back, because you have moments as an artist, whatever your art is, comedy, music, whatever. You have your moments that was like, oh, this is just not. And then it's all it takes is that one thing, that one melody or that one, whatever it is, to spark it again. Whether you took a month break or a year break, you're going to always come back to what you love.
So did you think like, man, I got this single deal. Next thing I'm on 106 in Park, talking and then like what? Like I know people think like it's you don't make it when you think you make it. It's stepping stones to it,
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, especially when you got a team of people around you, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do next. And I mean, I had the label meetings with Universal and these, I had the major people like, all right, this is what we can do with her. This is what we're gonna do with her. But then, the downside to that is at the time, because we're talking about back in 2011 and 2010, 11, 12, where you still had to fit a cookie cutter size. You still had to have the long, they were looking for the Mary J's and the Beyoncé's and, they were looking, and I keep telling people like Fantasia and them, they got in because of that American Idol.
Right, because like, that was the public already got them so hard.
The public already decided. It wasn't an exec that they went to judge them and tell them, like, the public decided. For us that weren't getting the public's decision, and it was the decision of the major people who were cutting the checks, they were the ones like, look, I'll never forget, Dave sitting me down like, look, they want you to lose like 15, 20 pounds. They want you to, and I was a little bit bigger then, a little bit, not a lot bigger, but a little bit bigger. But I still, even in losing the weight and even, it was just certain things they wanted, and they felt like she needs to change her hair. She needs to do this, or she needs to sing this type of music, that type of music, for us to feel like it's gonna work, or we need to see this, see that. And it just was like, now I always tell my son, like, if that happened now, if what that time period we're talking about was now, out of here. But that's because, to me, the internet forced us to be a little less judgmental in the sense of, look at all the artists and how diverse artists are. Like, I'm talking about different
for the good and for the bad.
Yeah, different. No, and now listen, me and you both, we could talk a whole hour about what's bad about the internet. But the good part about it is that Geppetto, puppeteering, everything, the internet gave access to all those people that were being told no.
And see, I'm getting old. I almost think we need gatekeepers again.
Well, now listen.
Or a standard, or somebody that's like, yo, like everybody, all the littles can't get in. Like we
listen,
can't do
and
this.
I'm with you. I had this conversation the other day. We do need gatekeepers in the sense of